Hello my loves and welcome to the Honey Bunny Beanie tutorial. Today we are going to be using a Karen 1 pound with the suggested size I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and we are going to start today with a slip knot on our hook. And let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch back into the first stitch to create a ring. Pull it tight, and then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Going back into the center of our ring, we are going to do 9 more double crochets. So and then hold your tail there so you can go over the top of it. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oops, I got the tail. Get out of there. Let's just do a real quick count. It's always good to count after each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the top of our chain 3. Okay, so here we're back to our chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to go into the top of that third chain with a slip stitch. Pull it tight, and that is row 1. We have 10 double crochets, including your chain 3. Now we'll go on to number 2. Ready, set, go. And coming around for number 2. All right, so we'll chain 3. The chain 3 at the beginning of every row is going to count as a double crochet. Okay, now this is where we're going to go a little different. The other beanies, we do post work here. Now I'm going to introduce you to a left bar double crochet. So you see these 2 little V's right here? We are going to be working into that left bar. You see that right there? We're going to just pull that up, okay? That's where we're going to be working. So yarn over, grab that left bar, and do a double crochet. Oops, easy for me to say right there. All right, so this working in, I call it a left bar. It mocks a front post without all the bulky thickness, and it's much, the front post is a dense stitch. I didn't want that, so we're going to do a little modification here. Okay, so here is our next stitch. Pull it apart if you have to. We will double crochet into the top of the next stitch. This row is all increases, so there's, see our little V. I'm going to grab that left bar and double crochet into the next, increase with the left bar. If you don't like the left bars, just do a front post double crochet. Okay, 1 into the next, and increase with the left bar. Double crochet into the next, double crochet into the left bar, double crochet into the next, left bar, increase, double crochet into the next, and then left bar, double crochet, left bar, double, left bar, double crochet. See this is our last one because there's our chain 3. So there's our last stitch. We're going to go into the top of it. We will end every row with a left bar. This helps hide our fault line. So there's our left bar. Here is our chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Pull it tight. Now you have 20 double crochets. On to round 3. Ready, set, go. All right, round 3. We're going to do another increase row. Chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then into the first stitch here, you'll see it right into the top. There's what we just came out of our chain. And the top of this, the left bar, we're going to do another double. So now you have 2, and now do your left bar. Okay. So next, into the next, a double crochet into the top of the last increase. Now we have 2 double crochets and then your left bar. Okay. Double crochet into the next 2 stitches. There is 1 and 2. And then left bar. See, what's nice about this is if you turn it, you can really see your V, but it just presents that left bar right on the top. So easy to grab. Okay. 2 doubles, or a double into the next 2. 1 and 2, and then left bar. I'm going to stay with you on this one. So on this row, we won't zoom to the end for another couple rounds. Okay, so a double into the next 2. 1 and 2, and left bar. Grab the little leggy leg and double. Double into the next 2. 1, 2, and left bar. Double into the next 2. 1 and 2. And left bar. Double into the next 2. And left bar. Double into the next 2. We're almost to the end. And left bar. Double into the last 2. 1 and 2. And then our final stitch is our left bar. Okay, there's our chain 3, slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, pull it tight, and there is row 3. Now, let's see, let's count them like I said. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so a real quick way to know what your stitch counts are is, okay, so we have 2 doubles in between and a left bar. So there's 2 doubles times 10 is 20, and then there's 10 of our left bars. So that is 30 stitches. So easy way to count. Right now, we are at 30 stitches. Okay, we're going to go to about 60. We're going to measure here in a second. We're shooting for 7.5 inches for our crown. Okay, so there is row 3, and we're going to zoom to row 4. I want to do a zoom. Here we are. All right, chain 3 to begin row 4. 1, 2, and 3. And now we are going to do 2 more doubles, which will make a total of 3 doubles. So this one, you see our next stitch. Now don't go back into that right there, because that's our first one. You want to go into this next one right here. Okay, it's kind of wonky there. It almost looks like it's just 1 stitch, but it's not. Follow that up and look for your little stitch right there. Now this is where normally a lot of people go wrong. It's at the beginning and the end. See, I've got 3, and then here's our bar. Okay, so there's your 2. That's a way to keep track. So we'll get our left bar here. 99% of the mistakes happen at the beginning of a row or at the end of a row. So count. The best way is to count after every single row. Then you don't have to frog more than a row. So there's our 2. We're going to do 3 doubles in the next. 1, 2, and then our third double goes into that increase row, and then we go with our left bar. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, and left bar. I'm going to do it one more time and then I'm going to zoom to the end so we can then catch up. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Hit our left bar with an increase. All right, I'm going to zoom to the end. 1, 2, 5, 10. Okay, zoom in my time machine. All right, to the last little segment here. I call it a pie segment because I need pie in my pie hole. Okay, we've got the last 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. Left bar to finish the row. And then there's our chain 3, and we're going to slip into the chain to the top of the chain. Okay, so there we go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now we're going to go to number 5 to stay alive. All right, I think we're approaching the last 2 increase rows. So now we will have 4 doubles. So let's chain up 3 for our first. Grab that second one, and a third, and a fourth. And then there's our left bar. Give me 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 doubles. Oop. And then left bar. I have to stop looking at the camera. I'm trying to watch my work, not the camera. Don't look at the screen. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Left bar. Okay, I think you guys should be getting this by now. Let's do it one more time and then we're going to zoom, zoom. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for our increase. And then here's our left leg. Okay, zoom, zoom, zoom to the end. 1, 2, 5, 10, ready, set, go. So silly. Skirt. Okay, here's our last piece of pie. We're going to go 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potatoes, and 4. Okay, we're going to hit our left bar and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay. All right, don't worry, it's curving. We want it to. It's a beanie. And then, yep, let's go for round 6. I was looking for my tape measure. Okay, and as we're, oops, sorry, that was loud. As we're approaching, see, we're only at 5.5 inches with this one. So if it's curling like that, sometimes it's easier to measure it if you flip it over. Kind of press her down a little bit just so we can get a flat space. Yeah, see, I'm at 6. Okay, so we need more. Okay, so now we are going to have 5. This will give us 60 stitches on this row. So we are going to measure at the end of this one and see if we need to do any more increases. This is all by measurement, okay? So if you're using different kinds of yarn, that's where we want to, you look at your measurements, not stitch counts, okay? So our sweet spot is about 7.5, okay? So let's chain 3. And then we're going to do 4 more doubles into the next 4 stitches. A double into the next 4 stitches. That was a lot in the mouth. Okay, there's the 4th one in the increase with our left leg. Okay, and then let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th goes into the top for the increase. There's 5, and then our left leg. Okay, 5 into the next, 1 double into the next 5 stitches. 2, I'm trying to be very careful with my verbiage for my visually impaired people that are trying to follow along. So there's 4 and then 5 doubles into the next stitches, and then here's our left leg. A double crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one goes into the top of the our little post thing. Oh, not a post, left leg. And then there's our left leg. Okay, let's zoom to the end and begin, and then we'll get on to number 7. 1, 2, 5, 10. Okay, here we are coming around. I got us a little thing here to look at. All right, so let's do our last segment, or our last pie. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the top of that one. Give me our last one with our left leg. And then slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Tighten it, pull it, set her down. Okay, let's measure again. I'm gonna flip it over because sometimes it's just easier to do it that way. All right. See, when I put my hand down on it because it really helps you get, see, like right there. See, it's just slightly, if you push that down, you'll see it's 7.5. See, there's 7.5. So we are good, sweet spot, 60 stitches. How do we know it's 60 stitches? Because there's 5 times 10 plus 10 more for the things. So that's 60. So that's how we know that. So here I just printed this little thing. I can't read if you can see what her name is. Anyway, found this on the internet, so I just printed it. So we come down here, and for BMO, which is Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, she said to do either medium or adult. Okay, so here if we look at a medium is between 7 and 7.25 for the crown. See how they show you how to do the crown? It's right across the top. So this is the crown. So we're going from side to side. Once you start doing your project right here, we're going to have a landmark, which makes it easy. You just measure like that, because this is going to become the top of the hat, okay, or the brim. All right, not the brim, the crown. And then here for the height, see the height? We want to go to about 8.5 or 9. See, between 8.5 and 8.5 and 9. So that length is not really going to change, okay? Then the circumference, that is going to be, you know, all the way around. So what I do is I measure from here to here and then multiply it by 2. So if you go from here to here and it's 13 stitches, you know that's going to be 26 stitches, but we're going for, 26 stitches, 20. Let me try that again. When we measure from here to here, you want to be right around 12 inches. We're shooting for 23, okay, 22 to 23 inches. So remember, you want to have ease. So if you put your thing down here and it's measuring 23, it might be a little big when it stretches, okay? So I usually try to go for about 22 because that gives you some ease, but then doesn't make the beanie too tight, okay? So again, nice to have the little reference. It has these, but we're not doing those this year. We're just doing the medium and the adult. So I'm shooting for the medium and the large. I shoot for this large one. That's my go-to. 7.5 inches, 9 inches long, and 20, I need to change that because I do 22. Again, for the ease, okay? All right, so let's get that out of here. And now we'll move on to number 7. I'm in heaven. Here we are for number 7. And what we're going to do is now we're going to work in the third loop. So to look at the third loop, you see here is the anatomy of the stitch. Here is your post, here is your V, and then this little, let me get this little guy right here, this little loop that hangs at the bottom. That is your third loop. From the back, you can see it. It's this little loop right here, okay? That's what we're working in, because what happens is it pushes this forward, and then this rib are the V's, okay? So let's work on that. Oops, gimme. Okay. All right, so I don't like to chain. I like to just pull up a little bit to give myself the ease up. And what we're going to do is we are going to, where am I? I got to pull it up. Okay, so this one, the first one's a little hard to see. But see, here's our chain. And see that little leg right there? We're going to grab that. So I've yarned over. And I'm going to come up from behind. You see that? And I'm going to use my hook head to grab that little leg, and see, it puts it on the hook. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all, pull through all of the loops for a half double. Oh, I'm stuck. I split the yarn a little bit. Okay, so there's a half double in the back third loop. Not the back, it's just called the third loop. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. Come through the back. You see I'm right underneath the stitch. I'm going to grab my hook head and grab that little thing and pull it to the back. Okay, this is how I do third loops. I use my hook head to grab that little third loop and pull it to the back, and then do my half double. Some people like to turn it to the back side and just grab that little third loop sitting there. And you can see, I'll let you see real good. See? Here is our V, and when you go to the back, the little bump on the back, we're going to grab that and do a half double. If these are fiddly for you and you don't like them, just do the back loop. Just grab the little back loop of the V, okay? This I like because it makes a real prominent braided looking rib, okay? So here we are at our left leg posts. And we're going to grab that third loop, pull it to the back, and half double. Okay? Pull it apart if you have to. There's that next one. Half double. Grab the little third loop, half double. Or if you like I said, turn it, grab it. Okay? So grab the little third loop. Don't miss those ones where the left bar double crochets are. Another thing I could do is, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the leg. In between each leg, you're going to have 6 stitches. So 1, there's my leg. I'm starting on the next one. Oop, sorry. 1. This yarn is splitty. It's not the yarn, it's the user. Okay. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and then there's that last one, 6. So if you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you won't skip a stitch. So just don't forget that one right after. Sometimes you might have to pull your work apart. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 4, 5, and then there's my leg for 6. I love this that I'm doing for us because I made landmarks. So if you can use your landmarks if you don't want to count, or if you're trying to keep track and you don't want to miss stitches. Okay. 5 and 6. All right, I'm going to finish this one off, and when we get back there, I'll get us going. All right, so 1, 2, 5, 10, ready, set, go. All right, skirty skirt. Here I am. And I've got the last 2. Now, this one was the one that I wanted to be very careful with, okay? So there's our one, and then here's our leg right there, okay? So I'm going to pull that up. See, now you see this? It almost looks like there's a stitch there, but there's not because we went into the back loop. Okay, so here's your chain 3, and you go right up to the top and into the the top of that stitch right there with a slip stitch. I should have put a stitch marker there, make it easier. Always use your stitch markers if you get lost in your stitches sometimes. Okay, I don't even care. I consider myself a pretty seasoned crocheter, and I still use stitch markers. Okay, so there is our pretty little, see that cool little ridge. All right, now we're ready for number 8. Ready, set, go. Okay, so now we are going to be working our bee stitch. Retraction, retracted, I went back. I went to go to count, and right now I have 59 stitches. So I did go around and count. So this section right here, see, this is where it always goes wrong, where people lose what they're doing. Okay, so this one is not going to have a third loop because it is a chain. It's a we chained in it. Okay, so what we're going to do on this last stitch is we're just going to put a half double crochet in that last stitch. Okay, so when you come around the end, if you have 60 stitches, great, slip stitch into the next one. If you come around and there's only 59, just put that last stitch into the top. Okay, I think it was right here. I should have gone back into that one, but it's okay because we have 60 stitches. We'll go right there, and then we'll slip stitch here, and you have 60 stitches. Okay, all right, so number 8. Now we are going to start the bee stitch. So what we're going to do is we are going to just slightly lift up a little bit, just a little bit, about the size of a single crochet, and go back into that stitch right there and pull up a loop. This is called a standing single crochet. So, and then just finish it off. We'll take our stitch marker, we're going to put it right in the top of that. Okay, and then in the same stitch, I'm going to do another single crochet. So we've done 2 singles in a stitch. That's what we have deemed, thank you, Juan, for twins in a stitch, singles. Okay, so next we're going to skip one, and then into the next one, we're going to do 2 singles. And that is your repeat. Skip one, 2 singles. Do these loose because when we come back around, we're going to be working in this left bar. Okay, so skip one, loosely crochet 2 singles. Oops. See. Oh, and I split that. Hold on. Reset. Go back. There we go. Skip and then 2 singles. I don't like the tension on that one. Okay, there we go. 2 singles. Skip. 2 singles. 2 singles. Skip. 2 singles. Skip. 2 singles. Easy breezy all the way around. Skip one, 2 singles. Again, you're going to have 60 stitches because we skipped one and then, you know, okay? So zoom around to the other end with skip one, 2 singles. Skip one, 2 singles. Ready, set, go. All right, here I am. I've got the last 3 stitches there. So I'm going to skip one and do my singles into this one. Okay, and then we have that last one. We're going to skip, and then into this where my stitch marker is, we will do a slip stitch. Okay. Okay, so now that is what we've done there was, like I said, 2 singles, skip one, 2 singles. Okay, now we are ready to go on to number 8. No, we're on 8. Oh, goodness, coffee. I need some. Ready, set, go. Got some coffee. All right, number 9. Number 9 is fine. All right, so here is what makes this the bee stitch. So here we are. We've got our first 2 singles right there. And then you can see right next to it, let me take this out and show you. See, you've got 1 single and 1 single. And so you're going to see 4 little legs, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this right here is the skip stitch that we skipped from the row before, okay? We need all of that. So I'm going to get close so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. And then you see 1, 2, 3, 4. See this little, the far left leg of the second single crochet? I'm going to grab that, okay? And then you see this skip stitch right next to it? We're going to go right down into that. This is where I like to use a rotation of the hook head, okay? So as I'm trying to come through here, I'm going to rotate my hook head to get in front of that, or to get behind that bar. Kind of pull it up give yourself some slack. This needs to be loose, and finish your single crochet. Okay, then right here, see that little bar? We're going to go in that bar and then back into that stitch that was skipped. Rotate your hook and pull it through. Give it a little tug to make it loose and finish your single crochet. Okay, now this stitch I learned from Brianna Kay. Now she is a really good tutorialist, so if you're having trouble with this stitch, go watch hers. She's very helpful. Okay, so here's our next set of our two singles. This far left bar, the very last one, grab it. There is our skip stitch, and you just go right down into that skip stitch and pull up. Now I watch Brianna, she pulls through and then she pulls through again. I split my yarn a lot when I do that, so I just use my hook head to rotate. So see, I'm in front of that little bar and I'm going to finish off my single. You can follow that single right down into that and just plunk right into it. Turn your hook head, pull it up, and finish. Okay, here's our next set of two singles. Grab that. See, this is why I went a little too tight on that one. This is why I say don't make these single crochets too tight. Ooh, I did that one really tight. So just grab it, use my hook head to get in there. Okay, and then go down into the skipped, pull it up, and finish. Okay, I'm going to follow that right back down into that, pull it up, get behind that loop, and finish it off. Okay, here's the next set. Grab the little left bar, go down into the skipped, pull it up, and finish. Behind the bar, down into the skipped, pull it up, and finish. Okay, there's again 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that little fourth bar. Grab that, go into the skipped, pull it up. I'm kind of using one motion for my hook rotation. Okay, so just find whatever works for you. Go slow on this one. You can pull through, then pull through. Just whatever motions you need to get that. Grab that left bar, pull it through, and finish it. Down into it, pull it up, and finish it. These are all single crochets, so no yarn overs. Grab the bar. See, I grab the bar, go right down into that skipped stitch, pull it up, and finish it. You can get the little fluid motions after you get used to it. Okay, here's our next. Grab that left bar, go down into the skipped, pull it up, and finish it. Okay, right there. Go down and up and finish it. Okay, there we go. Left bar, one single, two singles. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep showing you guys. Grabbing that bar, go into, you can, as you get used to it, it becomes a fluid motion. By the time I've made this beanie about 6 or 7 times now, and each time this bee stitch gets easier and easier. So go down into it, pull it up, and finish it. Pull it up and finish it. And 1. And 2. Okay. Down into the skipped. 1, 2. Okay. Just keep going. I'm staying with you because this one is very new. New concept. All right, follow that one down right back into the same space you just worked in and finish it off. Okay, let's do it again. Left bar, skip stitch, pull it up, and finish it. Go down, pull it up, and finish it. Okay, And now here's again, left bar, down into the skipped, pull it up, and finish it. Follow it down, pull it up, and finish it, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and zoom. I think if you need to watch that a little bit more, go ahead and rewind it or go check out Brianna K. It's called the Bee Stitch in the Round, okay? So ready, set, go. Right, now I am to the last 2 stitches. You can see the boom boom, 1, 2, and there are our last 2 singles. Now this one is we're gonna go slow on this one. Okay, so there is our left bar. Okay, and then right here, right below it, you kind of see here is our left bar posts. So we're gonna go right down into that stitch right there. Okay, just grab one, it's okay. And oops, see, I'll grab it again, go right down into that stitch and do your single crochet. Back into that one again, single crochet, okay? And now here we are. Here's our first 2 stitches, that right there, 1, 2. So we are going to go slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet, okay? Now, nice time to go back and count and make sure you have 60 stitches, okay? Now we're gonna start row 10 and ready, set, go. All right, number 10 is my friend. Okay, here we are. So here's our first 2 doubles. You can see your little bar right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull up on this just a little bit to give us like a chain 1 if you want to chain 1, but make sure to use your stitch markers if you're going to do that, okay? So now here is our 4 little, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that little 4th bar right there. It kind of goes in line with the one we just did, okay? So what we're going to do, like I said, give yourself some slack there, not too much, just enough about the height of a single crochet, okay? Grab that left bar, and now right below it is the skip stitch. You just go right down to it and do our singles. There's 1, follow it right back down, and 2, okay? We're going to do 1 more. Did I do that? Yeah. Okay. So here's our 2. Grab that bar and go down into the stitch for a single and a single. Okay. Here's our left bar. Down into it. Single and single. Okay. Here we are. Left bar. Right down into the skipped. Oops. Sorry about that. Pull it up. And then we go right back into that one again and pull it up. Left bar, skipped, pull it up. Follow that right back down to the same stitch and pull it up. Okay, so you see what's happening here? You can see the little bars are kind of going up like that. Okay, oops. See the little bars? Okay, let's do a couple more. Left bar, down into the skipped, pull it up, down into the same one, and pull it up for 2. Okay, let's do 1 more. Left bar, down into the skipped, pull it up, down into the skipped, 1 more time, and pull it up. Okay, I'm going to zoom to the other end. Ready, set, go. All right, as we swoop back around, and I did do a count, I am at 58 stitches right now, and there's 2 of our singles left. Okay, came in handy because back here I missed one. See, I'm not perfect either. We are not machines, stitches. All right, so here's our last 2. Here's our left leg, okay? And then I'm gonna go right down into that one right next to it and pull it up and down and pull it up. Okay, so there's our 2. And then here's our other one. We are going to slip stitch into the top of that first one. There we go. There's our slip stitch. Okay, so there we go. Now we're ready for number 11. Okay, number 11. My little things and my little things. I'm going to use that stitch marker in a second because now we are about to go in the round. No more slip stitching at the end, at least for the body. Okay, so here now what we're going to do is we are going to do an entire row of half double crochets. Okay, so here I'm going to just lift up a little bit, and in that first stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet. Okay, let's put our stitch marker in there. 1, and then all the way around for a total of 59 more stitches. So this one's easy, easy breezy. And the next one is going to be a third loop. So to finish off this little section, all right? So get you a half double crochet in every single stitch around for 60 stitches. 1, 2, 5, 10. All right, ready, set, go. Here's our last 2 stitches. And that is 59 and 60. Okay, slip stitch. This is the end of, no. Yes, this is the end of our slip stitches because we have to do one more round of the back loop. No, third loop. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me get that. Okay, there it is. There's our slip. All right, so this is the one where we have to be a little careful, okay? When you're coming out of this one, you see how I don't have a third loop right? It doesn't look like I have a third loop right there, but let's yarn over, okay? And you see how if you turn to the back, see the little loop is right, oops, sorry. See the little, turn to the back, and you can see the loop is right there. It's kind of on the side because I don't do the slip stitch. Okay, so pull that up just a little bit. So for this first stitch, turn to the back, get my yarn out of the way, get your yarn out of the way, and see it right there? It's right there. Grab that little loop, okay? And then finish your half double. So there's number 1. Put that in there. Okay. And here we go. See? There, now we have our third loop. See it right there? So go in, grab it, pull it to the back, and do your third loop. Again, like if you don't like these third loops, do a back loop, a back loop half double. All right. So grab them and go. Zoom, zoom, back loop. No. Blech! Let me try that again. All right, let's try it again. Third loop, half double crochet all the way around for 60 stitches. Okay. See, we're finishing off the little segment. Okay. Back to the end. Ready, set, go. All right, I did just do a count. I am at 58 stitches. So here's 59 and our last one for 60. Okay. We are going to come over here. Let me get that out of there. Stitch marker. And then slip stitch. Okay. I don't really like how that's looking. Hold on. Let's look at that one again. Give me my third loop. Okay. Yep, that was right. That's never mind. Don't mind me. Okay, so now we are going to start the main body of our project, and that is going to start with, it's a modified almond stitch. Okay, so for number 12, let's go. So we've got it now. All right, so almond stitch consists of 3 slip stitches and 3 half doubles. I didn't like that, so I'm using 3 singles and 3 doubles, okay? So what we're gonna do is in this first stitch, we're gonna do our standing single, pull that up a little bit, and give me a single crochet, okay? Put a little stitch marker right there, okay? And then in the next one, we're gonna do a single, and then another single. So that was 3 singles in the next 3 stitches. And now the next 3 will be doubles. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 3 singles, 1, 2, and 3. 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's our repeat. 3 singles, 3 doubles, 3 singles, 3 doubles. Meet you at the end. 1, 2, 5, 10. Here we go. I'm to my last 3 stitches, which are going to be 3 doubles. So 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potatoes. Okay, and then here's our stitch marker. Take that out for a second, and now we're to the beginning. So what we're going to do is when you have singles, you're going to be putting doubles there. When you come to the doubles, you're going to be putting singles there. So we're going to alternate them. But now we will be working in the back loop only. Okay, so here, don't accidentally put a stitch in this slip stitch right there. You wanted to use the single crochet where our stitch marker was. Okay, so don't accidentally go into that slip stitch right there. Go right here, and oops, and into the back loop, we're going to do a double. Back loop double into the next 2, 1 and 2. Okay, see how that's going? Let's put our stitch marker back here because we're going to keep track. Okay, and then here's our 3 doubles. We're going to go into the back loop with 3 singles. 1, 2, and 3. And then here's our 3 singles, back loop doubles. That's all you're going to do. Alternate them. Doubles in the singles and singles in the doubles, all working in the back loop. This is going to be what I use to mimic a honeycomb. So we have the bees and the honeycomb. Okay, here's our doubles. Give me single, single, single in the back loop. Okay, so we want this little rib to come here. It's really cool. All right, so back loop double 3 times. 1, 2, and oops, and 3. And then here's our doubles, and give me the back loop singles. 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, ready, set, go. Okay, here's my last 3. So the last 3 will be singles. 1, 2, and 3. Move my stitch marker. All right, and so now we're on to row 13. Oh, let me do my little thing. Ready, set, go. There we are. Okay, so here's our first 3 doubles. And we're going to do singles into those doubles. So here's my first back loop single, and we're going to put our stitch marker back there. And 1, oops, and 2. So there's our 3. And then here's our 3 singles, which will be back loop doubles. 1, 2, oops, and 3. And then our doubles. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom. You're going to put 3 back loop singles in the doubles and 3 back loop doubles in the singles. Okay, ready, set, go. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go on your own. You're just going to keep repeating this, the row 12 and 13, which is going to be, you know, the singles, doubles, singles, doubles, and alternate them, okay? So they alternate, all right? So do that until you get to about 8. Yeah, we'll do 8 inches. So let me do this so I can show you. Take your little point. That's where where we began. Put your hat down. Kind of pull it, tug it, just kind of, you know, just give a little stretch. Put it down nicely. And then where this little loop, our chain 4 is at the top, you will measure from there and measure till we get to about 8. Okay, so keep doing your repeats of our modified almond stitch until you get to about 8 inches. Okay, all right, I'll see you back in a little bit. Ready, set, go. All right, here we go. I have gone around, I was keeping track. I'm up to 16 and we're right around 8 inches. Okay, So there we go. Now we're gonna go like this. Ready, set, go for number 17. I'll just go like this. I don't need to hit applause. That's what my son used to call pause. He'd say applause. Put applause, Mom, put applause. Okay, here we go. So now we want to go into our, actually, let me pull back. Let me pull this back. That's the last stitch right there. You can see the 1, 2, 3 for the last single crochets. And then here I've got, this is the beginning. So that's our first stitch. That's where the stitch marker was. We are going to, oops, 1, 2, 3, yes. We're just going to go ahead and go into this and slip stitch. Okay, pull that up. So slip stitch into the first double. Okay, we're not going to go in the round anymore. All right, so here, now I would like for you to do an entire round of 60 stitches of half double crochets. Okay, so right back into that same stitch with a half double. Put my stitch marker. Oops. Splitty, splitty. Okay. All right, half double all the way around. 1, 2, you know what? Yeah, half double all the way around. I'll meet you at the other end, 60 half doubles. All right, I've gone all the way around, last 2 stitches. 1 potato and 2 potato. Get our stitch marker out of there. And now we will slip stitch into that first stitch. Okay. All right, so we've got our row of half doubles. Now on to 18, ready, set, go. Okay, now we are going to do a row of back loop, a third loop singles, okay? So this is just because it's our edge. We're not gonna do the, I don't need the depth, okay? So pull up on that a little bit, go behind, grab that third loop, and do a single crochet. Just like our doubles, or half doubles, but we're just going to do singles. Okay. Same way. Pull it to the back and single. Pull it to the back and single. Or just flick it over, grab your third loop and single. Third loop and single. If you don't like the third loops, do the back loops. See, instead of going to that third, you just go into the back loop. It'll make the little line, it just won't be as defined. And I really like when the braid is on top. Okay, so singles all the way around, third loop singles all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Ready, set, go. All right, here I come. Let's get that last back loop. Now do your count. Let's do our count. I'll be right back. I am at, this is 59. So so you can pull that apart. You see, you pull that apart and you see this is my thing here, but I need that little this little loop right there. Okay, so grab that last little one, pull it forward. Again, do your counts. Oops, I grabbed too many. Hold on, let me get in there. Grab that and do my last. So that would made 60. Okay, and I'm gonna go back here and slip stitch. Okay, and now we're ready to do, we're just going to do one row of our B stitch, okay? So in this first one, standing single, put your marker. Okay, one more, loose single, skip to loose singles, skip 2 singles, skip and 2 singles under the next, and all the way around. Skip 2 singles. Okay, meet you at the other side. Right, here's my last 3 stitches. So I'm gonna skip and 2 singles, skip and then slip stitch into the first single crochet. Oops. Let me get the proper loops here. Oh yeah, you're being real fussy today, huh? There we go. And there's our slip stitch. Okay. All right, so here's our first set of 2. Pull up on that one a little bit, grab your left leg, and go into the skipped. We're only going to do this for 1 row. Down into that same with the second one. Grab the left leg, down into the skipped, and single, back into the same one, and single. Okay, do it one more time into the skipped, behind the loop, pull it behind the loopy leg. Okay, next set, I'll do it one more time. I said that before, didn't I? Do it again, do it again. 1 and 2. Okay, so you guys know this one by now. Left leg into the skipped, pull it up loosely, and finish it off. There we go. Pull it up loosely. Okay, zoom, zoom all the way around. Ready, set, go. All right, here we go. Oops, I bunked them. Okay, I'm to my last 2 stitches here. Here's my last 2 singles. I'll grab my leg. Oopsie. See, gotta make those singles loose. Okay, down into the skip it. 1 and 2. Okay, there we are. Gonna slip stitch into that first single crochet. We are almost done. All right, now we're just gonna go like this. This is row 20. I'm not gonna push a pause. We're just gonna keep going. 1, 2, 5, 10. Okay, so now we are gonna do a row of single crochets, just like we did at the beginning here. So pull that up, do your standing single crochet, put your stitch marker. Now make sure to do 60 single crochets, okay? And that should be real easy breezy row, okay? Singles all the way around. And again, you should have 60, okay? 1, 2, 5, 10. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 2 more stitches. Oops. So 1 and 2. Slip stitch into our first single. Okay, now this is our last and final 21. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do some back loop singles, okay? So pull up on that one a little bit, go into that back loop and pull up a single crochet. Put your stitch marker just in case. And then again, see how we've got the 2 loops? We wanna take the back loop and just single, pop a little single. It's gonna put a little tiny rib there just to finish us off. So we're gonna do back loop singles all the way around. All right, oh my gosh, we're almost finished. I was trying to keep it under an hour. Yeah, 59 seconds, 59 minutes. Gosh. Okay, I hope you guys giggled a little bit. So there we go. I'm gonna round and round and round we go. 1, 2, 5, 10. Okay, so I time warped to the end. There's our last 2. That's 59 and 60. Okay, now we're gonna take into that first single crochet and slip stitch. And then I like to chain 2, get my little snippies, snippy snip, snips, pull it up, pinch it, pull it, tug it, snug it. That is a really good ending for it, that knot will not come out. Juan taught us that one. Okay, so there it is. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. Where's my? See, there we are. 9 inches. Okay. So here we go. We have, see how I was telling you about how there's this landmark. Okay, so from one side to the other, 7.5. top to bottom, 9. Side to side. So this one, see, we're at just right about 21 or 11, so that's like 22. Okay, there we go. You see how I got that? Right, almost to 11. Now, again, not to a duck's butt, you know, or a gnat's tuchus, as I say. My husband says the ASS word there, the gnat's booty. That we want to be able to have flexibility. So there you go. Measure, measure, measure. Get your little thing, your little guide if you need that, okay? If not, just measure, measure, measure. If you get to this and this beanie is too big, if it's too long, like it covers your eyes, then only take this to 7 instead of 8 inches from here to here when we start our little, when we complete, okay? Easy breezy. If it's too big for your head, you feel like it's falling off your head, then stop your increases 1 row early and maybe just do it 7 instead of 7.5. All right, so I will be on Monday nights, I will be working this. I am going to work this in the, would you say regular stitches? So back or front post double crochets, 2 singles. This one's easy, almond stitch, and then 2 singles instead of being. I'll do an easy one, and if you guys join me on Monday nights, you'll be able to see me make that. All right, so I will be making more of these. These are all for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach. This is dedicated to K&K Crochet, and go check them out. We are doing collections for mental health awareness. We are also going to be collecting things to create donation bags for the holidays. So go check them out. She just put up a video explaining Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach 2026. So again, thank you for joining me. And this is our Bumblebee. Oh, Bumblebee. Let me try that again. Okay. This is called the Honey Bunny Bee-nie. All right. So have a wonderful day. Bye. Make beautiful things.